Risk factor at workplace. So when I say workplace, it can be at your office, and the workplace can also be at home. Okay? All right. So the risk factor is when you feel or you communicate poorly. Okay? Meaning you need to address something, but you are afraid to do so. Okay? You're afraid someone might see you as someone weaker, not good enough, and a lot of things. Okay? So have courageous conversation. Meaning, rather than I keep on saying, oh, you are not good, you know, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, rephrase it by saying, let's see how can we work things together. Let's see how can we do things differently. Because most of the time, people's ego is higher than anything else. Okay? So, ego is in your mind. But when you start to communicate through your heart, okay, I'm not saying that you need to feel pity for that individual, or if they don't perform, you say it's okay, but you help them, you assist them. Because as a leader, okay, when I say as a leader, every one of you is a leader. Because you instruct yourself to wake up in the morning, you instruct yourself to drive, you instruct yourself to come to work, you instruct yourself to do work. So you are a leader. Self-leadership is very important. So you instruct yourself to give that communication, a positive communication, yeah? The next one is low level of support and resources. Okay, when it comes to mental health, a lot of individuals, a lot of employers or management, they are not aware of mental health. Because before this, there's only a little bit of individual address mental health. The rest is mostly physical health, right? So you need to understand that you need to give the right support, the resources. If you have an intern or you have a newbie into your organization, how do you give support? You need to address that. Okay. Another one is unclear roles and responsibilities. So right now during COVID, there's a lot of unclear roles and responsibilities. Who's going to do what? How are we going to do this, right? Especially when you have a group of people working from home and you have another group of people working at the office. So there can be a lot of unclear roles. So you need to highlight that. Okay, and the roles can be changed instantly. Okay, like last time you have a concrete role, these are your job description, but now you need to be agile. Okay, workload and time pressure. There are individuals who feel that they want to do everything without delegating. So you need to address that. There are also bullied and sabotage, okay, at workplace. And if it's digital, it's even worse because it can go viral, okay. Sexual abuse. When I talk about sexual abuse, not only women get sexual abuse, yeah, even men. But again, men don't really express it because they need to look at macho. All right. Toxic leaders, leaders who don't really communicate, leaders who don't really look at empathy, okay, don't know the rules and the responsibilities, and also overworked. There's no such thing as I don't have enough time. If you feel that you don't have enough time, you need to look at your time management again. How are you managing it? Because most of the time, again, when you have too much of this, entertaining yourself with this, you will lose track of time. And therefore, you will pile up your work, and then you say, I'm stressed, I'm overworked because the bosses give me a lot of things. So look at that. All right. Another thing is high job strain. Okay. You don't really have support in the organization. Okay. Absenteeism and presenteeism. For example, absenteeism is when I know that you are not there physically. So whatever our discussion right now, all right, you are not aware. But presentism is when you are there physically, but your mind is somewhere else. And most of the time, when we talk about productivity, when you talk about performance, okay, it will go lesser because of presentism. You know, they are there, but their mind is, who's going to take care of my kids? How about financial? During this COVID, it will be more. Okay. Another thing also, I do acknowledge, and I see a lot of webinars, a lot of online Zoom meeting, which I also go through a lot of it. Yeah. And it can take a toll on yourself, because when you have too much of screen, it will limit and it give you other sorts of issues. For example, how do you sit? Do you sit straight or do you slouch? All that plays a role. And I do have this case that I would like to share with you guys. One of my during one of my presentations, this individual participant, so she asked me, you know what, Sangeeta, while I am working and I have my kids running around, my boss asked me to shut my kids up, go to a room so that I am focused with her. And bear in mind, the boss is a single individual. Okay, I'm not saying people who are not married, they have this attribute, but sometimes there are so many uncertainties, okay, they don't see the different aspects. Okay? Because if you work from home, please be open that you will have people walking around. You will hear noises from the braidman, from the TV, from anywhere. So you need to be aware, all right, that there are these sounds that you can hear. There will be people working, even though you are 9 to 5. Okay? So if you're a leader out there, what works for you might not work for your employee or your staff. So be mindful. Okay? Another thing is, must they really be in the Zoom call? Because if they are more productive, getting you the output, okay, being present there without doing anything, it's not productive. So you need to understand what you need to do. And this is where I say about overworking, time management, okay, communication, unclear roles and responsibility. All right? And then there's a lot of conflict, because you need to understand we are all different. You have different personality than me. Okay? If I'm a leader who looks into analytical, I need numbers, I need data, I need facts. And if you are someone who is social, you know, prefers communication, prefers building relationships, then the way you communicate with me will be different. Therefore, I feel that you are not performing, you are not doing what you're supposed to do. All right? So understand all this during this work from home, during this pandemic scenario in the world, then you understand where you're coming from.